Alright guys, what I want to do here on this video is just go through some of the problems from practice set 42, which should have been submitted by now. You had an opportunity to work on this in class on Monday when I wasn't there. And again, unfortunately, I'm not here today, so I can't exactly go through this with you. So what I'm going to do with my the resources I have available to me is to go over what I did to get some of these answers. And you can follow along with your own notes. And again, the answers are posted with the answer keys online in our classroom teams. We're currently in assessment 15A, so that's where you can find that on our teams. So take a look at the first question. This SAT calculator question. It says Nate walks 25 meters in 13.7 seconds. If he walks at this rate, at the same rate, which of the following is the closest to the distance he will walk in 4 minutes? So they give us the ratio of 25 meters to 13.7 seconds. So you can see right here I wrote that immediately because anytime they give us a ratio, we want to use that. So I have meters on top, seconds on the bottom. And when I set that equal, I had to find the other piece of information they gave us. They give us 4 minutes. Well, the problem is the ratio is in seconds. They gave me 4 minutes. So what we need to do is convert 4 minutes to seconds. So 4 times 60 is 240. So 4 minutes is 240 seconds. So that's how I got this number over here. So now I can have seconds equal to seconds. Now this is set up for cross multiplying. So we cross multiply, we get 13.7x equals 6,000. When we divide, we get 437.95. And since I'm kind of picking which one is closest, I would pick answer choice B, so that's 450. Question 2, this one you should attempt with no calculator, as the direction says. I highlighted each of the equations in 2 different colors. These are inequalities. This is a systems question. Although we didn't cover inequality systems this year, since we covered systems, you can still do the problem. The question says, in the xy plane, point A is contained in the graph of the solution set of the system of inequalities above. Which of the following could be the coordinates of point A? So what we want to do is we want to see which of these coordinates can make the statement true. So going through, I started with this first equation with the first choice. X is 2, y is 1. Sorry it's crossed out, but that's just what I have for this. So when I plugged 1 in for y and 2 in for x and I simplified, I got 1 is greater than or equal to 7, which is not true. So I crossed that choice off. I didn't even test it in the yellow one because if it doesn't work for the teal blue one here, it definitely won't work for the yellow one. Or it doesn't even matter if it does because it has to work for both. So choice A was gone. I moved over to choice B, and again I plugged in 1 for the y and 4 for the x. When I simplify that down, my final statement was 1 is greater than 3. 1 is greater than or equal to 3. And that's also not true, so I crossed off choice B. When I got to choice C, I plugged in 5 for my C this time and 4 for my x. When I simplified, I got 5 is greater than or equal to 3, and that is true. So then I moved to the second equation, which is highlighted in yellow, and repeated the process. I plugged in 5 for y and 4 for x, and when I simplified, it was true again. So that automatically means that was my answer. I don't need to check it. Or I don't need to check option D because option C worked and I only have one answer choice that works, so there you go. Question 3 was just factoring, so factors of 8 that can add or subtract to get you to -2, so it's -4 plus x minus 4 and x plus 2. So from this point, I told you to do the odd questions for the homework. So if I take a look at question number 5, now bear with me. Some of these questions, a lot of these questions are very similar, but some are, they tweak what they want you to do. So if you look at the first question, it says in a small U.S. city, the ratio of people to cars is approximately 1.85 to 1. If 12,100 people live in the city, to the nearest 100 cars, approximately how many cars are in the city? So they gave me the ratio of 1.85 to 1, which they told me prior to that is people to cars. So I have 1.85 people, 1 car. There's my ratio. The only bit of information they gave me was there's 12,100 people. So again, people equals people. I'm keeping like things together here because I'm creating a proportion. Approximately, which means we're not going to get the exact answer. Actually, the right before approximately says nearest 100. How many cars are in the city? So that's why there's an X here, because I don't know how many cars there are. So when we cross multiply, we get 1.85x equals 12,100. And when we divide, we get 6,540. 540 is closest to 6,500. 40 is closer to 500 than it is 600. I believe we actually did that problem together, I want to say, last Friday. So that one should be already completed in your notes. Let's take a look at question 7. Question 7, it says, in one country, residents were asked to name their primary language. The ratio of residents who said French to those who said Punjabi was 110 to 7. So French is 110, Punjabi is 7. If there were 7,260,000 residents who spoke French, how many thousands of residents spoke Punjabi? So you can see here, I put a little F and P there so I kind of know what's what. So 110 is French, 7 is Punjabi. On the other side, 7,260,000 represents French, as it says in the question. So I'm trying to figure out X. So cross multiply, we get 110X equals 50,820,000. And when we divide, we get 462,000, which is the correct answer in terms of the number. But the question wanted to know how many thousands. So 462,000 is 462 thousands. So the answer really is 462. Moving on to number 9. A particular dishwasher uses 4 gallons of water per load. 4 gallons per 1 load. Their advertising claims that hand washing the dishes uses 6 times as much water. According to the estimate, how many gallons of water would it save to wash 215 loads using the dishwasher instead of by hand? So again, when they give you a ratio, you're going to want to use it. So they gave me 4 to 1, so I wrote 4 gallons over 1 load. So 4 gallons gives you 1 load. They want to know how many gallons of water you'll save. Well, the first thing I need to know is how many gallons of water are used. So we use 215 loads equal to 1 load, and we figure out by doing this how many loads it uses by running the dishes in the dishwasher for 215 loads. When we cross multiply and solve, we find out that's 860 gallons of water. The question wants to know how much water would we save. In order to do that, we would have to figure out how many gallons of water would be used if we did it by hand. Now, in yellow, and I underlined it, it says that washing it by hand uses 6 times as much water. So, if it takes 860 gallons of water to do it with the dishwasher, 6 times that, I wrote that over here, is 5,160. This 5,160 represents how many gallons of water you use by washing dishes by hand. So if I'm trying to find how much water I'm saving, I take how much water, 5,160, I minus 860, I get 4,300 gallons. I'm saving 4,300 gallons by washing the dishes in the dishwasher as compared to hand. So this is the first example, and you'll see this in the notes for section 43, that sometimes we do one thing to move on to the next step to get the other thing. So not everything's the same. You can see I'm using ratios using ratios and proportions in all these problems, but sometimes you have to do a little extra. And the last one I want to go over, number 11. If a 12-ounce can of soda contains 40.5 grams of sugar, each gram of sugar has 4 calories. How many calories from sugar are in 20-ounce bottle? So again, 12 ounces, 40.5 grams. I have a ratio there. It says I'm going to be using a 20-ounce bottle, so I put 20 ounce on the top because ounce should be equal to ounce. When I solve, I find out that there's 810 grams of sugar inside a 20-ounce bottle. But that's not what the question wants to know. The question wants to know how many calories. Well, the other part I highlighted in the question says each gram is equal to 4 calories. So 810 times, it's not 810. When I solve this, I figure out that it's 67.5. When I multiply that number by 4 in order to change grams of sugar into calories, I get a final answer of 270. So sorry, I used the wrong number there in my explanation at first there. But the idea is we have to figure out how many grams of sugar there are and then multiply that answer by 4 to get the actual answer we're looking for. Okay? So I just want to do, these are the examples I did in class with the B-Day students today, so I want to make sure I cover the same amount of material with all of you. I'm going to end this video now, and I'm going to begin the video for the notes for section 43. There's only a few questions on the notes, so when you're ready to pop over there, go ahead and check it out.